It's Friday, which means one thing on this channel. We're going through everything meaningful that went down in price this week in the Pokemon market. Cards, sealed, all in Canadian prices. If it dropped, we're talking about it. I pulled the data from DoubleHolo every week so you don't have to. And before we get into it, question of the day. If you were a gym leader, what type would you specialize in? Drop your answer in the comments. Me personally, dark type, no hesitation. So let me know if you guys can top that. Well, you can't, but you can try. Let's go! Welcome to Pokéwood. Before we get into this week's red tags, quick PokeBeach check. Big news dropped yesterday. Delta Rain has been officially revealed. That's the English name for the Japanese set Storm Emeralda. And it's coming November 6th. It features Mega Rayquaza EX. So Rayquaza fans, November 6th, mark it down. We'll talk about what that means for the market in a future video. Now let's go into the red tags. 4 singles, 3 sealed. Let's go. Mega Charizard X EX, number 125 from Phantasmal Flames. So it's currently sitting at $1,203. It started the month at $1,188. The high was $1,271. And then when I did the research for this video, I checked here. It was at $1,128. So when I checked, it had lost 8.5% and it was down $104 from its high. But as you can see, it already went back up. And I know there's some wild swings here. So that kind of volatility tells you something. I think there's a lot of money moving in and out of this card right now. As for the AI signal, it says to hold, neutral sentiment, the RSI, which that's the relative strength index. It's a scale from 0 to 100. That means that measures whether something is being bought or sold too much. So it's sitting at 43. It's getting a little weak, but not in alarm territory yet. Reddit sentiment, it's neutral, 134 mentions in 14 days, 3 positive, 1 negative. The community isn't excited, but they're not scared either. Mega Gengar EX, the attack rare, number 269 from Ascended Heroes. So it peaked at about 135 in late May. Now it's sitting at 106. So that's about, when I checked, it was 102. So that's about $18 from peak. That's almost like that's down 15% on the month. So unlike the Charizard chart with all those wild swings, you look at this one. This is a clean, consistent downward trend. Like peaked early, held relatively flat for a couple of weeks, and then around June 9th, and actually that's like the same date as the Charizard drop, but it just fell off a cliff. So no bounce, no recovery attempt, just down. And here's where it gets interesting. Signal, buy, bullish sentiment, price forecast on the raw card, $107 Canadian. So bullish tag, 64% confidence. And the RSI, remember 0 to 100 is sitting at 7.8. So that is deeply oversold. When the RSI gets this low, the selling has gone too far and a short-term bounce is technically more likely than not. So short-term forecast is plus 5% over the next week or two. That would put it around 113 Canadian. And as for the Reddit sentiment, it's bullish, plus 60. That sounds great, but I want to be straight with you. Like, that's based on one Reddit mention in the last 14 days. Like, only one. So the community is barely talking about this card right now. What is real is the RSI. And you've got a buy signal, a bullish price forecast, and a 64% confidence, all pointing the same direction. So that's the technical setup for a bounce. So Gengar has a massive fan base. The design is one of the best in the whole set. The demand exists, so people aren't paying attention right now. So this might mean that it's a good time to pick it up. So my verdict is a cautious buy. The data is saying buy, and I trust the RSI, but like, manage your risk. The chart is still falling. Keep it to one copy. Don't go heavy on something that hasn't bottomed yet. Meowth EX, number 121 from Perfect Order. It peaked at $287. Right now it's sitting at $257. And when I checked, it was $250. So that's down like $36 from peak. Down like 10%. So look at the shape of the chart. It tried to recover twice. You can see those two bumps. And then both times it fell and went lower. So the second rejection around June 10th is when the real slide started. So as for the AI signal, it says to hold, bullish sentiment, price forecast is bullish, confidence 64%, RSI is 13.4, so oversold, same story as the Gengar. When something is this oversold, a bounce is statistically more likely than not. Short-term forecast puts this at 264 Canadian in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So that's a 5% move up from here. The Reddit sentiment is bullish, plus 23. But the trend over the last 14 days is minus 20. So people who are still talking about this card are positive, but fewer people are talking. So the conviction is there, the hype is just fading. So my verdict, watch it closely. The RSI is oversold, bullish forecast, solid confidence. 250 is a more interesting entry than 280 was 3 weeks ago, but like, I'm not quite pulling the trigger yet, but it's getting close. Like, give it a couple days maybe. Okay, so this is the last single, and this one joins Gengar as one of only 2 buy signals in this entire video. Meowth, number 106, Phantasmal Flames. It peaked at $47, went down 24%, all the way down to 35. So on the surface, that looks like a card you avoid, but if you look at the AI signal, it says buy, bullish sentiment, hold rating good, plus 2.1% over 14 days. The Reddit sentiment, it's bullish, plus 45, 21 mentions in 14 days. Trend plus 28.8, 4 positive, 0 negative. So that's the highest positive community score of any card today. The community genuinely believes in this card, even while the price is falling. So RSI is 44.6. So it's getting a little weak, but not oversold yet. So actually now it's 33.6. So the signal is buy, the community is bullish, the trend is moving in the right direction, and the raw card is $35 Canadian. So my verdict, I think it's a budget play worth picking up. At $35, this is one of the lowest risk entries on today's list. Buy signal, strong Reddit sentiment. Don't go heavy, but at this price point, the copy or two makes sense if you like the card. Ascended Heroes ETB. Now this one, I want you to pay close attention because it's not a simple red tag story. It peaked at 740 and now it's sitting at 654. You're looking at $55 gone in under 2 weeks. So that sounds bad. But AI signal, hold, bullish sentiment. The price forecast, $717 Canadian. Neutral tag on the forecast, but the signal is driven by the bullish sentiment. Confidence is 48%. RSI is 57.5. That's actually strong. It's not oversold at all. The 90 plus day forecast, 736. So that's basically back to the peak. The Reddit sentiment, plus 28. 793 mentions in 14 days. Trend plus 5. 3 positive, 0 negative. So 0 negative Reddit mentions on a product that is actually actively falling in price. So that's not normal. My read, the flippers who bought it at launch are cashing out. The long-term holders are staying in. The price drops during the transition and then stabilizes when sentiment stays this strong while a product is falling. So that's a setup for recovery. So my verdict, hold it if you own it. And if you've been watching this product waiting for a better entry, the 640 to 677 range might actually be it. So this is the only product on today's list where I would seriously consider buying the dip. Chaos Rising ETB. So I want to pull up the 3-month view on this one because the chart needs some context or it tells the wrong story. So Chaos Rising launched on May 22nd. And like almost every product in this era, the pre-release price is inflated. Collectors were bidding it up before supply even existed, so that's completely normal. What you're seeing on the left side of this chart is that pre-release hype price, sitting around $218, $19. What happened after May 22nd is the market correcting to the real price. Every week since launch, it's been sliding, and right now it's sitting at $107. So that's not a crash. That's just a set finding its actual value after the hype wears off. So the signal is neutral. RSI is 42, so it's getting a little weak. Price forecast comes in around 115 with 56% confidence. Short term might tick up slightly to around 116. But the medium and long-term forecasts both land around 109. So basically flat from here. The neutral signal means nobody's panicking, but nobody's excited either. So the verdict is avoid for now if you're looking to buy. The box is still finding its floor. If you already own one and you're holding long-term, the neutral signal says don't panic, but don't be in a rush to add more until it shows you where it actually wants to settle. Last one, and this one has a number I need you to look at because I've genuinely never seen this low on a product I'm tracking. Mega Evolution Booster Box. This is, by the way, this is the non-enhanced. So it peaked at 485 in late May. Now it's at 415. $70, boom, gone in under a month. It's down like 14%. Signal, hold. Price forecast bullish, confidence 64%, short-term forecast 436 in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So that's a 5% bounce from here. But here's the number I want you to actually look at. The RSI, 1.0, 0 to 100. 30 or below means oversold. The selling has gone too far and a box is statistically likely. This box is sitting at 1. That is like as oversold as a product can physically get on this tool. So technically the data is telling us that selling on this box has been overdone. The Reddit sentiment, neutral, 0 mentions, nobody's talking about this. Like there's no hype, nothing. And to be honest, the 30 to 60 day forecast dips back down to 395. So this is not a moon call, but short term, the RSI is flashing as hard as anything I've ever seen. So my verdict, short term, speculative watch. If you're already planning to pick up a Mega Evolution booster box, like right now might be a better entry than last month. But I would keep watching it for a day or two. Make sure the floor is actually in before you commit. Quick recap before I let you guys go. Mega Charizard X EX. Volatile chart, hold, wait for stability. The Mega Gengar EX, the Mega Attack Rare, oversold, buy signal. Cautious buy, 1 copy. Meowth EX from SIR from Perfect Order, oversold. Bullish forecast, watch it closely, it's getting close to a buy. Meowth from Phantasmal Flames, buy signal. Budget price, low risk play worth picking up. The Ascended Heroes PC ETB, it's dropping, but sentiment is bullish. So hold or watch for a floor entry pretty soon. Chaos Rising ETB, still finding its post-launch price, so avoid for now. The Mega Evolution Booster Box, technically as oversold as it gets, short-term speculative watch. And as always, all prices are in Canadian dollars. Do your own research before you buy anything. Also, don't forget the question of the day from the beginning of the video. If you were a gym leader, what type would you run? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. I'll see you next Friday with a fresh list. Wood out. See you tomorrow.